You have your VA side. How does it break down? You have private pay. You have long-term care insurance. What does it look like?
Yeah. So as far as so we have probably about 60% is long-term care insurance for us, and that was a whole other thing to learn.
Yeah.
And being able to understand how to navigate that, was something that I was excited about, but I knew it was going to be, something that I really had to be patient with.
All right, welcome to another episode of We Are Amada, and I am here with Correy Webb, the owner of Amada Senior Care in Greater Sacramento and Davis, which actually I used to think it was a county. I thought Davis County, but that's a city.
Yeah.
Sacramento and Davis, I don't have to say county.
Yeah, and Davis, UC Davis is a prominent college out there. Very nice town and college town. Has a vibe to it when you get there, so it's pretty cool. But Sacramento's where we reside mainly, and covering Davis now too.
So I remember when you guys acquired your business. Joe is not here, but he's here. He's just not here for the interview. We're here at the annual conference in San Clemente, California, and your partner, you guys split up. He's doing one of the breakout sessions. You're nice enough to come do the interview with us, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask you. There's a lot of folks that when they're looking at Amada Senior Care, some of them are single entrepreneurs where they're just going to go at it on their own. Some of them are couples, and some of them are partners.
Right.
So I'd love to hear a little bit about how you and Joel got together and how you guys came to the decision of starting a business together. And really, what is it like to run a business with a business partner?
Yeah. No, well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet.
And having a great time at conference. So, everyone go to conference. It's definitely a wealth of knowledge that we're all sharing. We're developing together and growing together as a system. So definitely want to, definitely shout out the way you guys, do the conferences. I think they're amazing.
Thanks, man. That's great.
And, going into, funny story, how I met Joel, we go way back. So we go to middle school. So quick funny story, said at his wedding too, is my mom and his mom, we're in passing because we played basketball together. Joel just had moved from Salinas over to Rohnert Park where we were living in Sonoma County, Northern California. And my mom was talking to her, and she's like, oh, well, Joel doesn't really know too many people out here, and, it was kind of tough meeting people. And you don't tell that to my mom. She's called to action. Like, she was urgent in all things, right?
Yeah,
and so she was like, hey, Joel's coming over. You guys are going to hang out. And I already
really?
knew him.
She set a play date there and then.
She's like, that's happening.
And you're in middle school?
Yeah, middle school. So, but I already knew Joel. I was like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Come on, whatever. We hung out.
Yeah.
But years later, it was like out of sight, out of mind. Like, I didn't even think about, the situation, how we started, hanging out. But my mom told him, and he's well in his 20s at that point, and he's like, wait, what? You did what? He didn't know at all.
He didn't know. He thought this is beautiful, organic friendship.
Yeah.
And all, it was an arranged friendship.
Yeah, I still get residual checks for that. But yeah, that's how we first met, and we played sports together, and when the older we got, the more closer we came, and we both went to a junior college. So and I was playing football at the time. He was just going to school, and we lived together and everything else. So it's one of those things where you get to work with your best friend. And so out of college, he got a job at a firm doing hospital staffing.
Yeah.
And maybe 8 months later, he was like, hey, they got an open position. So I applied.
Wow, no way.
And we both started an entry-level recruiter. He became a VP of business development. I was director of talent acquisition. So we actually had to work together and partner together.
Yeah.
And so we knew going into doing Amada that, hey, I know how you work. I work. We work really well together. And so it made sense. It was a no-brainer. So that's how we kind of pivoted over to in-home care. And I like it a lot because in the hospitals, you send your staff out, you don't get to see the benefits of what you've done to enrich that environment.
Right.
And so with in-home care, you get to meet the families, you get to hear good stuff, and there's always stuff that comes up, and you have to deal with problem
all of it. You get all of it.
You get all of it, but you get to see the fruits of your labor, and you get to have that farmer's mentality. And then if you do the right things as a farmer, you plow, you plant the seeds, you water it, you'll have the fruits of your labor by having the harvest. And so that's what we try to do with every family. Do it right steps every time. So
Man, that's awesome. And you've been in business now together for how long? It's been
so we signed in 2023, but we really didn't get going till 24, like of March. So it's been
so
a little
you're
over a year.
a little over a year.
Yeah, and it's been a journey for sure. You know, you kind of you take the wins and the losses, and you just kind of try to stay even as keel as possible. But it has been really cool to be able to give jobs in the community and
Mm-hmm.
support the community. And I live where I work, you know, and I don't have to, you know, travel too far. You know, everything's, you know, in those pockets of Sacramento and Davis. So it's been really a really cool thing to do
Yeah.
for the community, and you know, we're really trying to continue to grow off of that. And so
So tell me about as business partners, how do you and I don't know, there's not a lot of coaching about, who does what and do you play to your strengths? How do you guys keep such a great relationship with each other and what roles did you guys end up taking in the business?
yeah, well, early on it's pretty easy because he still has his other job right now,
Okay,
and
yeah.
so but we always have high level discussions about the business and approaches, and a lot of the similarities in hospital staffing are very prominent in home. So it's a lot of the same conversations we used to have when we worked at other firms. So but he was involved early on with just help pushing me for like the marketing and sales, because that was more in his view. Like I did it with the other firm, but not as
Okay.
much as he did it. And so he initially was helping, you know, cultivate the relationships with the social workers, case managers, and things of that nature. And then, you know, once I was kind of up and running and going, he, you know, took more of a back seat to that. But he helps out a lot with the financials and looking at P&L. He likes numbers, and he's a number
Really?
guy. So I'm like, hey, you do that, I do
Yeah,
this. So
yeah.
it just naturally kind of happened where like he's more behind the scenes, you know, making sure that, you know, we're looking at, you know, our margins and, you know, what we're spending money on and, you know, what we're looking like, and projecting out to like, you know, get internal staff and build
Mhm.
up, you know, that workforce.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about the work that our company is doing with the VA and how important that is to all of us. And actually, here at the conference, there's been so much talk about all the different ways that we're helping veterans, because there's so many different ways,
Right.
and especially every state is a little bit different
Oh yeah.
in how we can help the veterans. So, what has that been like for you up in the Sacramento area, helping our veterans?
Yeah, and I mean with the VA, it's big, it's massive. There's a lot of moving pieces. You know, first you have to educate yourself. You know, because there's just so much to be had with the VA and understanding it. And so the first thing was to educate ourselves with what we can and can't do. And right now within California, they're not taking on any new providers. That happened right around the time we got our license. So we're not able to support on the benefit side, but we can support on the aid and tenant side for veterans that were wartime veterans, and they're able to get hours allocated to them to have in-home care. And so we really try to position ourselves to support that program.
Yeah.
But not only that, you know, we didn't get in business to only look at the dollars, right? We got in business to help out seniors and be advocates for our seniors, because especially our veterans, you know, because they don't, a lot of times they'll have all these benefits that they're not even using
That's
or
right.
even know about. And
Don't.
so,
Yeah.
so what we're really doing now is, even if we can't get a caregiver in because of their benefits, we are really positioning ourselves to be experts with just how to navigate through the VA, what paperwork to fill out, what department that they need to reach out to, because there's so many different departments, and they're just gonna move you to the next one, and if you don't know where you're going. So our goal right now is to continue to be experts in the VA, and no matter if we can get our caregiver in the home or not, still support our veterans. I meet with the family. We have a whole consultation on, you know, what type of benefits they could be owed,
Right.
and as well as how to get those benefits and time of, you know, length of how long that's going to take and things of that nature. So we're really trying to help our veteran community out.
So talk about a little bit of your business. So, and you guys, You have your VA side. How does it break down? You have private pay, you have long-term care insurance. What does it look like?
Yeah. So as far as our so we have probably about 60% is long-term care insurance for us, and that was a whole nother thing to learn.
Yeah.
And being able to understand how to navigate that was something that I was excited about, but I knew it was going to be something that I really had to be patient with.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to really position ourselves to be long-term care insurance experts in our market. And now I have social workers, I have case managers calling me to do policy reviews, and being able to use AI now to be able to use that information. And then I use AI to spit out a summary for our clients.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And
yeah.
it really dulls it down, because there's a lot of insurance lingo that is said with our reviews when you're calling into the provider. And so I dull it down and I go over next steps, because at the end of the day, they want to know, okay, what do I do next? And
Right.
so I always break that down. I have the number to call, what department, everything ready to go, and I can help them with that next step. But long-term care insurance is, about 60% of what we do. And then we have obviously private pay. And then we've had aid and attendance here and there
Okay.
to support our veterans. But mainly it's been long-term care insurance and private pay.
So
And placements.
So placements. And for those of you who may not know, if you're kind of new to looking at Amada Senior Care, we have home care, sending on medical caregivers to seniors' homes. We have placements, which is helping a senior find an assisted living, a boarding care, Alzheimer's care unit, any of these places that are privately paid. And then you also have staffing, which actually you come from the staffing industry. So,
Yeah.
And we just started focusing more on staffing. But really, the placement side is amazing because it helps families find the right place for them to live in. So talk a little bit about placements. What was it like to start doing placements, and how's that going?
Yeah. Well, I remember way back when we were going through the process and before Discovery Day, we actually were speaking with you, and we're saying that, how long does the license take? Like, what can we do, until that comes? And you're like, hey, you can do placements while you're waiting for your license. And we're like, oh, that's no brainer. Let's do that. And so we really just, right when we signed, it was like, okay, let's figure out the facilities. Let's just go in there. Let's have the conversations. You figure out your approach. You have some things that you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said this.
Right. Yeah.
But you need to go through that process. You need to just get in there and do it. You don't need to like master everything. It's just sometimes you just got to
get out there, right?
Get out there and do it and show up. Just show up and it'll all figure itself out. But yeah, we started with placements and we were able to develop some relationships. Took some time, but now we average about 2 placements a month, and it really helps the business, because when I go in, I'm going in early to these facilities because a social worker or case manager is saying, hey, Corey, can you talk to this family? They don't know if they want placements or in-home care. So I do a cost analysis, and I let them know, okay, if you're going to do in-home care with this amount of hours, this is what it's going to cost. This is what it's going to cost for a boarding care or assisted living or a placement. And they're able to make better decisions quicker. And so that's been a very big tool for the facility if they have me going early, so I'm catching them a lot earlier in the process and really just having those conversations. And some of them are hard. We're sitting down with family, and some are at the realization that where they're at. Some didn't really think that far ahead, and now we're having those conversations. And so you really have to make sure that you're coming in as kind of a voice of reason, and expert of what we do. As well as have compassion for the situation, because some of these people, they're going from they were fine until an episode happened.
That's right.
Maybe a fall, maybe a stroke.
It's a new life, a new normal. They were fine yesterday.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
And so I had a client that I was working with. He was a teacher, and he was a music teacher, and he was gonna go pick up his mom on Christmas, and so he got a flat tire. Went out to change his tire and had a stroke right there.
Oh my gosh!
And
wow.
He was a healthy guy, and he was totally fine, no support, to now needing care and 24-hour care until he can get better. And so mentally, that's a lot, And so for me to come in that moment in his life, you have to make sure that you're coming in as sometimes a sounding board. Sometimes just, having that compassion and comfort for him and his family, and then being able to really just help them navigate that situation. And so I hold myself accountable and have a lot of responsibility, to make sure that we're helping these families out. And so, placements, has been something that has helped us have these bigger discussions with the family. So.
Man, that's amazing. It's so cool that you didn't wait. You just get in there and start doing placements right away.
Just got to do it.
So you had an amazing career in the staffing industry, medical staffing. And a lot of the folks that are watching this are folks who are thinking about starting a business. And it's a nerve-wracking decision.
Yeah.
There's a lot at risk, right? And what was that like for you making that decision?
Yeah.
And I don't know, what's your advice to folks that have built amazing careers who are thinking about making the jump?
Yeah. Well, we had a little bit of advantage because we did staffing, so we knew what we're getting into. You
knew a little bit about what we're doing. Yeah.
But at the same time, nothing's going to be perfect. Yeah. It's like me becoming a father. When I had my first kid, it was like, hey, we're just going to figure it out. We're never going to be ready, And the same thing with, owning a business. It's like, you're never going to be completely ready, Mm-hmm. And I think some people wait, like, well, I have to do this, that, and the other first, and then I'll do it. And sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to commit, and you might fail in the beginning, but you'll figure it out if you're passionate about something, if you care about something. And what better way to be passionate about something than your own business, right? So it's just all about putting your best foot forward every day, knowing that you're not going to be perfect, knowing you're going to stumble a little bit, but you'll figure it out. And we have a ton of support with Amada, and so you have people that have gone through it too. Mm-hmm. And I can call other owners in other markets, and everyone's been so gracious of their time and being able to give back to me. And I'm now doing the same thing. People are calling me now, and it's like, whoa, I think I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But it's you have a system that's going to help you. You're not on your own. And sometimes you just got to commit and do it. So my advice would be just do it. Just do it. That's it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Correy, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. Appreciate it, man. I've been waiting a long time to do this.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your success.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, man.
More to come for sure. So,
more to come.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, if you are interested in Amada Senior Care, you know where to find us. Just, you probably have an email from us, or you can go online and find more about Amada Senior Care. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Correy, thank you so much.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man.